Before you continue, I emphasize to you one customer Farouk of Uganda idea. No one is coming. It's upon us to liberate our cities. So we are challenging minds. We are challenging minds. There wasn't one country called Italy, but the states fought until they created a state called Italy. Sacrifice in terms of lives, sacrifice in terms of money, until Italy got its what? Unification. So there were so many Italian states. For example, Lombardy, Venetia, Tuscany, among many, Piedmont, among many other states. But we are saying the struggle to unify Italy was not easy, but finally the Italians got their unification. So we are challenging minds. Why did Italy delay to get its unification? We need really to understand that Italy, the Italians wanted to unify, but the struggle did what? Delayed. So one of the key aspects is military weakness. One of the key issues that explain why Italy delayed to get its unification was military weakness. The Italians were militarily weak. The question is, weak as they were, how were they going to maneuver and overpower the mighty Austria? So the military weakness explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Because there is no way they were going to fight and defeat Austria when they were militarily weak. So the military weakness explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Then lack of enough able leaders. There is no way the Italians were going to liberate themselves when they were lacking leaders. It is said the leaders who were there like Garibaldi were not strong enough to liberate the Italian states. There was a need for so many strong leaders for the Italians to be liberated. So Italy delayed because it lacked able leaders. Then, lack of a model state. The Italians delayed to get their unification because they lacked a model state, a state that could lead others. Piedmont came later, but at first they lacked a model state. It is this that made it difficult for the Italians to unify, because they lacked a state which state could lead others in the struggle for unification. Then economic backwardness. Weak as they were economically, how were they going to maneuver and overpower the mighty Austria? So we are saying the economic backwardness explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. As they were economically backward, it is this that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Then ideological differences. Some were believing in peaceful means, others in using force to fight for unification. So the ideological differences made it difficult for the two groups to unite together to fight a common enemy, that was Austria. So it is this that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Then poor transport and communication. There is no way they were going to get their unification when there was poor transport and communication. They needed good roads to move from one area to another, but there was poor transport and communication. So the poor transport and communication explains why Italy delayed to get its unification, because the nationalists could not move easily from one area to another. Then lack of a strong middle class. It is said the lack of a strong middle class explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. We are saying today the educated people who were there were not strong enough financially to fight to put money in the struggle. So we are saying lack of a strong middle class explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Where we are saying today the middle class was not strong enough to challenge Austria. It is this that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Then poor mobilization. The mobilizers were based in towns, they were not in villages. The question is, how was the struggle going to succeed when the mobilizers were based in villages, were based in towns, and they were not in villages? This made it difficult for the Italians to get their unification. Then the failure of the 1848 revolutions. We are saying today, when the 1848 revolutions failed, it is this that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Where we are saying today, when the 1848 revolutions failed, it is this that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. We are saying today, the failure of the 1848 revolutions, people lost courage when they were defeated in 1848. It is this that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification, because some people lost courage in the struggle. Then the weakness of the liberal forces. The liberal people who are supporting the unification wanted to use peaceful means. So it is this that made it difficult for the Italians to get their unification, because there is no way Italy was going to be liberated when these people are believing in using only peaceful means. Then lack of a common plan. It is said the Italians lacked a common plan. They were not looking in one direction. The question is, as they were lacking a common plan, some wanted to be led by a president, others didn't want to be led by a president. So lack of a common plan made it difficult for the Italians to unite together, and this explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Then high illiteracy levels. So many people were illiterate. They didn't know how to read and write. High illiteracy levels. Some were not understanding the benefits of the struggle. So it was the high illiteracy levels that explains why Italy delayed to get its unification, because some people were not understanding the benefits of the struggle. Then the Vienna settlement. The Vienna settlement, which put the Italian states under Austria, explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Because the diplomats at Vienna made Austria to control most of the Italian states, and this made some people fear to join the struggle for fear of the diplomats at Vienna, and that explains why the struggle delayed. Then Metternich system. Metternich had a very high spy network. He could kill anyone who could rise up to fight for unification. So the Metternich system explains why Italy delayed to get its unification. Then the Congress system, which made still Austria to control the Italian states. There is no way the Italians were going to be liberated when by this time we are realizing that diplomats of the Congress system were against the struggle. Then the influence of Napoleon Philly. Napoleon Philly, one time, after the liberators liberated Rome, he went in Rome and put his soldiers there because he did want Italy to get its unification. So it is this that made it difficult for